So let's just, do you see underneath, if you're, I don't know if all the prayer books are the same, and this one doesn't even have it at all, but there's two little lines in small print in the Sim Shalom, that those are done silently usually, although the first one is Ki Shem Adonai Ekra Havu Gadel Lelohenu. And then there's another line that says Adonai Sifatai Tiftach Ufi Yagi Tehilatecha. Now a lot of Chazanim are singing that line. There's a beautiful melody for it.
What page on the Simsador are you on?
Each of them is 156. This one is 156B.
Okay, 156B. Good. All right. Thank you.
So you see the two little lines. So before they start, they do that.
So Sharon, I have a quick question. Sorry, I joined. So my Sim Shalom is a weird one. So are you using the abridged Amidah for weekdays? Do you know?
No, I'm using the one for Musaf Shabbat.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Musaf.
So last week we did the Chatzi Kaddish, which stopped the service, and then the next part of the service is the Musaf.
All right. I always like
I have one question that I'm looking at the prayer book, and on one side it says with patriarchs, and on the other side it says with patriarchs and matriarchs.
Right.
So does that mean that it's only for men, one side, and the other one is when there's men and women in the congregation?
So that's what we just read about, that originally they just listed the patriarchs. But in more recent times, some synagogues have been including the matriarchs in the recitation. So before, the prayer always just said Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But now many are adding Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel to it.
Okay.
So my synagogue still, even though we have a woman cantor and she's very progressive, she won't change the words of the liturgy.
Wow.
So we do not say the matriarchs in our Amidah, but most synagogues, I think now, conservative synagogues do.
So for doing,
I didn't hear you.
for our purposes, which one are
So we're going to do with the matriarchs, because I asked everybody and they said that their shul does the matriarchs.
with the matriarchs? Okay, thank you.
So that's the one we're doing, and that's the one that's up on the screen.
Okay.
So I'm going to read it first, and then we can read it separately, and then I have a recording of it too. So it's Baruch Atah Adonai. Before I start, you take 3 steps backwards and then 3 steps forward before you begin the Amidah, and you bend your knees on Baruch, you bow on Atah, and you come up on Adonai. So it's Baruch, you bend, Atah, you bow, Adonai, you raise your body. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Ve'Elohei Leah Ha'el, Hagadol, Hagibor, V'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel, Chasadim, Tovim, V'Konei, Hakol, V'Zocher, Chastei, Avot, Umei, V'Goel, Livnei, V'Nehem, Lema'an, Shemo, the Ahava. And then the next line you only say on Shabbat Shuvah, that's the one between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. So we're not going to say that. And we go down to Melech, Ozer, Ufoked, Umoshia, Umagen. Baruch, Atah, Adonai, Magen, Avraham, Ufoked, Sarah. Atah, Gibor, Leolam, Adonai, Mechaye, Meitim, Atah, Rav, Lehoshia. Okay. And then the next line, you say from Shmini Atzeret, that's the last day of the Sukkot holiday, until Pesach. So we're done with that. And it's a line that asks for rain. So that's why you do it during that season only.
Oh, wow.
Okay, the last word is Geshem in that line, which is rain. So the next line is Michal, Kel, Chaim, Bechesed, Mechaye, Meitim, Berachamim, Rabim. Somech, Noflim, Verofei, Cholim, Umatir, Asurim.
Gosh, could you turn the light on for me?
Kayem, Emunato, Lishene, Afar, Mi, Chamocha, Baal, Yevurot, Umi, Domelach, Melech, Memit, Chaye, Matzmiach, Yeshua. We're skipping that next little line because it's also for Shabbat Shuvah. The Ne'eman, Ata, Lahachayot, Meitim. Baruch, Ata, Adonai, Mechaye, HaMeitim. And then if it's being recited out loud by the Chazan, you skip to the next page, which is the Kedusha. So let's just do this first. I'm going to play it. It's going to follow the prayer again. So you can listen and then you'll try it. Maybe.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufia gitehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu. Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, ve'Elohei Rachel. El Hagadol, Hagibor Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chastei Avot Ve'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Be'ezrat Sarah.
Okay. So
The next to last word that she just said, the end of the prayer. The next to last word is not the same word as is in the prayer book.
Yeah.
Magen Avraham Ufo Kade. That's not what was on what she just sang.
Yeah.
The very last line.
The very last line. Magen Avraham to Ezrat Sarah.
Ufa. What's the next to last word?
The Ezra.
No, the very last
in the prayer book or the page.
Yeah, well, I'm looking in the prayer book, but
you have Lev Shalem, Eileen. Yeah, the words are a little different. because they
Okay.
interpret it differently.
Yeah, because,
Magen Avraham
ended with-
Ufaked Sarah. See, that's what
right,
my
it ended
Ufa-
with Sarah, right? But in the
It
prayer
ends with
book, it's
Sarah.
longer and it ends with a different word. Be'aha.
No, and no, that's not. Like I said, the next to the last word that she just said, in
Right.
between Abraham and Sarah, there was a word, Hebrew word, and that's, I don't know if it's different.
With the help, if it's the Ezrat Sarash, they added that in with the help of Sarah. Okay.
Right. I'm just saying the next to the last word connecting Abraham and Sarah is different than what in my prayer book, but maybe it's not on the
Well,
sheet
what
of
is the
paper.
word that you have?
Ufo cod.
Okay.
Ufo cod. Sarah.
Okay. I'm not sure what that is.
We have that in,
And we don't even say that in
Yeah.
my shul at all. So
it's
Yeah,
the-
well, there you
we
go.
don't add any of the matriarchs in ours. So
Sorry.
I'm sorry too. Oh, I see it. It's Ufo Kate Sarah. That means a guardian of Sarah.
But in the song that you just played for us, that's not next to the last word is not the same.
Correct. She put in the word Ezra, which means with the help of Sarah. This is with the
Oh.
guardianship of Sarah. I don't know why they just interpret it differently. That's all. Yeah. Okay. So who would like to read the beginning of it? Celia.
okay.
There you go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu. Is that 2 dots or a line?
It's
Velo-
one, it's a straight line with 2 dots that are silent.
Valohe Avotenu
That's it.
Elohe Avraham Elohe Yitzhak Velohe Yaakov Elohe Sarah Elohe Leah, no,
There you go.
Elohe Rivka, Elohe Rahel, Velohe Leah, Ha'el, Hagadol, Hagibor, V'Hanora, Elyon, Gomel Hasodim, Tovim, V'Kona, HaKol, V'Zovar, Hasda,
Day.
Hasday, Avot, Umani, Goel, Lavne, V'Naham,
The Nahum.
Leman, Shemo, Be'ahava.
Beautiful. Okay. So before we read any further, if you have these pages, and I'll put it up in a minute, go to page 56 on these pages, and I'll put it up here.
56.
Oh, 255. I don't have 56. I printed two.
57.
Oh, I see.
I didn't give you here, 56.
Well, I have it.
I'm gonna-
I have it.
There it goes.
So the first blessing is just talking about the matriarchs and the patriarchs, which are Avot and Imahot. Okay, and these are just some of the words that you might want to recognize. So does somebody want to read the English? Can you read it from your paper, or Geraldine, go?
For millennia, many Jews have professed to believe in a Messiah, a Redeemer, a human being of flesh and blood who would usher in the Messianic world. Stories from the Holocaust tell us that Jews went to their deaths singing, "I believe with complete faith in the coming of the Messiah." Some of us set aside a chair for Elijah, the escort of the Messiah, at the Brit Milah ceremony, the Brit. And some welcome Elijah at a Seder with Elijah's cup of wine. Always, is it Seder?
Yes.
Is it Seder? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
With Elijah's cup of wine, opening the door for him and singing songs, urging him to come soon. Others believe that while one day we will witness a messianic era, it will be achieved by our own hard work and not by a Messiah. It is as if a small piece of the Messiah is already within each of us, waiting to be revealed. Think about it. I'm sorry.
In the Avot, the paragraph we're reading now.
Okay, in the Avot, God is described as both our God and as the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, the God of Sarah, the God of Rebecca, the God of Leah, and the God of Rachel. A God both communal and personal. While God is the God of all of us, God is also the God of each of us. We each travel our own path to God and forge our own relationship with our God.
Okay. And here are some words that are repeated over and over in the Amidah. So it's Avot, Avotenu, Elohe, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. So the first word, Avot, is fathers, and Avotenu is our fathers, because the new ending on any word means our. And then Elohe, God of, and the three patriarchs, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. And down here it says, circle the Hebrew words that correspond to the English. So which word there means fathers? Somebody want to tell?
The middle.
The middle one.
Avot.
Avot.
Yeah.
And which one means our fathers?
Avotenu.
Correct. And God of is
Elohe. Elohe.
Ella.
Elohe.
That's correct. Great.
Woo.
Okay, so now I'm on page 57, if you have the papers, or it's up here. So it says, connect the Hebrew and English names of the fathers. So everyone who is Abraham.
That the first one is Abraham.
The first one's Abraham, is Abraham. Yitzchak is
The second.
Isaac, right?
The second. Yeah.
And Yaakov is Jacob.
Jacob.
Right. And here we have a list of some more words. Imahot are the mothers. Just like Avahot with fathers, Imahot is mothers. Imotenu is our mothers. Elohe, God of. And then we have the matriarchs, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, the Rachel. So mothers are, which word here?
Im, oh,
That's right.
Imachot. This
Imahot,
middle one,
right?
middle word.
And our mothers is over here. It's hard to read. Imotenu.
Mhm.
And God of, once again, is Elohai,
El-
right? God
All
of.
right. Okay.
So first it was Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov. And then the next one is Elohei, the God of Sarah, Rivka, Rebecca, Leah
Leah,
is Leah, and Rachel is
Rachel.
Rachel. Good.
Can you, what's Rebecca's name again?
Rivka. This one right here, Rivka.
I'm trying. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, and then there's one more page here of vocabulary. If you go to the next page. So if I can. There we go. Okay, so the avot, the first paragraph of the Amidah is called the avot, lists 4 words to describe God's greatness. And it says, write the English meaning for each one. Let's go over them here. Hagadol is the great. Hagibur is the mighty. The Hanorah is awesome. Elyon is supreme. And those are all names of God that they're, and almost every prayer in the prayer book mentions one of these names of God. Chasadim tovim are acts of loving kindness. Melech is a king or a sovereign. Ozer is a helper. Umoshia is a rescuer. And Magain is a shield. These are 4 more names of God. So those words, when you see them, they're just referring to God all the time. So Hagadol, see if you can look on the list and tell me what it means. Hagadol is the
Great,
on mute and chime in. Hagadol is
the great.
the great. Hagibur is
The mighty,
right. The Hanorah
Awesome.
awesome,
and Elyon,
supreme.
right? And 4 more names. It says in the Avot, we see 4 roles that God plays in the lives of the Jewish people. Melech, he's our sovereign, our king. Ozer, he's a
Helper.
Umoshia, is a
Rescuer.
Rescuer.
Moshia is also the word for Messiah. Moshia. And Umagain is a
Shield.
shield, also a protector. Magain David is the Star of David. Magain David, the ship comes on David's shield. Okay. So now we're going to look in the prayer book on the same page. And we're going to look at the words that start with Ata Gibur. So that's the second part of the Amidah, the second. You count down. Do you see it in? It's in bold letters. Ata on 156b.
Yes.
Okay. Ata Gibur is the second part of the Amidah. And it's called Givurot. So the second blessing of the Amidah,
Well,
Givurot,
Sharon, what is it called? The second part?
it's up here on the screen, Givurot.
Okay.
The second blessing of the Amidah, Givurot, means powers, expresses the belief in God's power to grant us health, freedom, strength, and everlasting life. So it's Ata, I'm going to read it. Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye Hakol Meitim, Ata Rav lehoshia, mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechaye metim. I'm skipping the word hakol. I don't know why they put that in there, truthfully. It means all. Berachamim rabim, somech noflim, berofei cholim, umatir asurim, kayem emunato lishenei afar. Mi chamocha ba'al givurot, umi domelach melech memit, chaye umatzmiya Yeshua, b'ne'eman ata lahachayot metim, aruch ata Adonai mechaye hametim. And down at the bottom, it tells us why. Reform and Reconstructionist worshipers who use the phrases mechaye hakol and mechaye kol chai, gives life to everything, instead of mechaye hametim, states a belief in the magisterial goodness of God, but recalls the sentiment away from resurrection. Instead, they express the belief that God survives the spirit of the downtrodden, the broken, the weak, and the lost, and sustains us in this life, which is miracle enough. Okay, so in the conservative prayer book, they don't use the word hakol. They just use the word metim. And they're saying that that's because they don't believe in God as a resurrection, as a resurrector, but that we just should believe in this life.
That's what I think that's what I was always taught. It wasn't about a life after, which I thought was a difference in Judaism and Christianity, is that Jews believe in doing good while we're alive.
Correct.
Whereas the Christians are it's about the afterlife. I thought that was a difference. So
it is. That's how the conservative movement interprets it. But I'm not sure, I'm not an expert. I think the Orthodox interpret it literally, that one day there will be a resurrection by the Messiah. But we all believe in a messianic era that we will bring about by good deeds on earth. You know,
right.
Because nobody's ever come back and told us, right, that something's happening in heaven that we know of. But so it's important
right
here. Okay. So let's listen to it. If you were follow now in the prayer book, and I'm going to try and find that, although I don't see it here.
Okay.
Ata gibor le'olam Adonai, mechaye hakol ata rav lehoshia, mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofech cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishenei afar.
Got a choir going on.
Ba'al gevurot umido melav melech memid umechaye umatzmiach Yeshua. B'ne'eman ata lahachayot hakol, baruch ata Adonai mechaye hakol.
Now, if you
Ata gibor.
if you notice, she used the word hakol in hers. So this must have been she must be a reform or reconstructionist chazan, because it was in her liturgy there. But in our prayer book, they just use the word metim, and metim refers to people that have died. And they're saying it refers to hakol, which is everybody. So the conservative liturgy still keeps the original wording in it. Okay. So let's take this off. And we're going to start with the word ata gibor. And somebody want to try reading that from the prayer book? Somebody Betty, do you want to try? Or are you just not muted?
Ata gibor leolam Adonai mi chaya hakol mi metim ata rav leho Yehoshua mi kol hayim becha sed mi chiya hakol matim beru berumayim.
The Ra.
I can't hear her.
Say that. What's that? Berachamim.
The Rachamim, okay, yes.
Rabim. Sorry. Tomecha.
So somech, that's a samech.
Tomech. Okay. No flim. No, I don't know. No.
The rothay.
Could you say that again?
The rothay.
No, the second word of that sentence.
Isn't it the rothay?
No filim, is that right?
The first word, no flim.
No flim, okay. Vero fa kolim. Vemi tayir.
Umatir.
Mi tayir. Mu rain.
Asurim. Asurim.
Surim. Yeah?
Asurim.
Oh, see, my husband copied this for me, but he didn't make it larger, so it's like really hard for me to see any of the on my paper, any of the or most of the.
Okay. Do you have the prayer book there?
Sorry.
Do you have the prayer book there, Betty? Is that easier?
It's on 160, Betty, in our book. Go to 160.
I don't have your book. I have Liv.
I have that. That's what I have. Our book, you and me.
What page?
160.
Oh, okay. Thank you. All right, now finding where I am.
Can you find the word asurim?
The fifth line down, is it?
Betty, 186 in Lev Shalem.
You just said 160.
186 in Lev Shalem.
It's probably on both pages, 160 and 186.
I don't know.
I looked at 160. I didn't.
Okay, I got 186. Okay. So which line?
So see if you can find Atah Gibor again, which is the beginning of that blessing. Do you see Atah Gibor?
Okay, here we go.
It's right below the white space.
Barachamim. It's after that, right? Rabim.
Yeah, Rachamim Rabim. Go ahead from there.
So mech no filim vero fe holim umatir asurim
That was good.
umeka yom yam
Yay.
emunato lishene afar mi kamocha baal givu wrote umi domech la melech memit chaye mich
Yay.
Yeshua.
Yeshua. Look at the word before Yeshua. That's a hard one. It's u. That's it. You did it perfect. Umatzmiach. Yeshua. Much better from the Siddur. It was great.
Yes, I can
Okay.
see it.
And then there's 2 more lines there. Somebody,
Go
Go ahead.
Good. Go ahead. Oh, okay. Uvemecha.
the Ne'eman, the Ne'eman,
Ata le ha chot meitim baruch ata Adonai mechaye ha-meitim.
right. So that's the second part of the Amidah. First, we did the Imahot Va'avot, and then we did the Givurot, which is talking about the different names for God and about how we can be better people. And we're going to look at some of the vocabulary. If you look on page 63 now of the papers, and I'm going to share it again. Okay. So it says, here we have a list of words again that are in lots of prayers. Ata means you. Gibor, mighty or powerful. Le'olam, eternally or forever. Le'olam is in many prayers. Mechaye, give life. Lehoshia, to save. Chaim, life, like lechaim. Berachamim, with compassion. And mi chamocha is who is like you, referring to God. So we're going to, over here, we're going to see if you can find the right word. Anyone can unmute. Who is like you? Which of these phrases?
Me kamocha.
Right. And the word for life, it's hard to see, but it's, you all know that one, Chaim.
Chaim.
Eternally or forever.
Olam.
Good. Mighty or powerful.
Gibor.
Good.
Gibor.
Gibor, you,
Ata.
right? And give life,
Bihaye.
Vichaye, great. And with compassion or mercy,
Birahamim.
right? And that comes from the Yiddish word rachmanis, right? Sounds like the rachamim. And to save,
Vehoshia.
right?
Vehoshia.
And Moshiach, which is Messiah, who's supposed to save us, comes from the same root word, Lehoshia, Moshiach. Okay, so somebody want to read the English? I know we can all read English really well. Somebody want to try it?
Sharon, what page are you on, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, page 63 of the pages. And if you don't have the pages printed out, I have it up one here. You can
Want
see
to
it
read
on
it
the
in
screen,
in
right?
English? You just
The
want to
English,
read it
in
in
the-
English?
Where it says, in the first blessing of the
Blessing.
Amidah,
The vote we speak in generalities about God's goodness. In the second blessing, the gavorut, our words about God's mercy and kindness are more specific. Interestingly, most of these are we too can perform. They're about God's mercy and kindness and more specific. Interestingly now, they are we too can perform. We can help encourage the disheartened, raise the fallen, feed the hungry, heal the sick, free the
Oppressed.
oppressed.
give renewal life to those in need.
Okay, great. So then the next part of the Amidah is the Kedusha, but that's going to take us a long time, and it's 11 o'clock. But what I'd like to do before we leave is just go back to the beginning of the Amidah, page 156b, for those on Theme Shalom. And Arlene, what page is it for everybody in Lev Shalom? Does it begin on?
185.
185. Thank you. So let's see if we can just read it together. If you want to, I think it's too hard when you unmute, so I'll just read it, but read along with me. Okay. Starting with Baruch. Baruch atah Adonai
I don't know.
Eloheinu Ve'Elohei
Can we
Avot.
be muted? Can we be muted?
Oh,
Should
sure.
we be muted? Yeah.
Yeah, let me mute everybody.
What page are we reading?
You're on page 185, I think, in your book. And my book, and Steam Shalom is 156b.
Okay.
What did I do? I lost you.
You can't see us?
I can't
Can
see
you?
it.
But we can see you, so go ahead.
Okay, I don't know what happened.
Don't worry about it.
Okay,
Don't worry.
not trying not to. Okay, so as long as you can hear me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Ve'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibur V'Hanorah El Elyon Gomel, Chasadim, Tovim, v'konei hakol, v'zocher chasdei avot, umevi goel livnei v'nehem, lema'an shemo bi'ahava. Melech ozer ufoked umoshia umagen. Baruch atah Adonai magen Avraham ufoked Sarah. Atah gibor leolam Adonai. Mechaye metim atah rav lehoshia. And then we're skipping down to the bigger print. Mechalkel chayim v'chesed mechaye metim v'rachamim rabim. Somech noflim v'rofei cholim umatir asurim umkayem emunato lishenei afar mi chamocha baal gevurot umi domelach melech memit umchaye umatzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman ata lehachayot metim Baruch ata Adonai mechaye hametim. Okay, now I wish I could see you. I can't figure it out. I don't know how to get back. Let's see if I press this, what happens?
So that was the
Ah,
first and the second.
there you are. Okay. So what, Betty? I didn't hear you.
That was the first and the second bracha.
The first and the second bracha, right? So I hope you recognize some of the words a little bit and what they mean in English now when you read along. So if you go over those little vocabulary things, it'll help you when you're reading.
So where did you find these vocabulary things? Like what book were you using for these vocabulary
So
things?
you weren't here at the beginning. I showed it to everybody. It's called a Prayer Book Hebrew for Adults, Hineni. They are, you can order it from Berman House. I think Julia let me buy a copy of it because they're thinking of using it for the advanced beginners class.
Okay, so can you hold it? What's it again?
It's called Prayer
Oh,
Book Hebrew for Adults. Hineni means here I am.
Prayer book Hebrew for adults.
And
Okay.
it has the Shabbat morning, where the other book that we finished was the Friday night service.
Okay.
But this has some blessings, some of the holiday liturgy, Hallel,
Oh,
and
good.
Saturday morning.
And
So
it's
they might use that book.
It's Friday night
fall.
and Saturday.
Yeah, because I mean, I think it's good, don't you? I never used it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that because it reinforces some of the vocabulary too. So
Yeah.
And you start getting attuned to some of the words that way. Yeah, good, I'm glad. Okay, so I think that's it for this week. I hope everyone's doing well and healthy and
What do
enjoying-
you plan, Sharon, for next week? Because I probably won't be there.
So next week, we're gonna do the next part of the Amidah, which is the Kedusha.
Okay, and you'll record it, right? Yeah.
I will definitely record it, yeah.
Sharon, thank you so much for your patience and your love. You are so good and patient, and I certainly appreciate that very much. I really do. That's why I keep coming back to you, even though I don't know what I'm doing.
Thank you, I'm glad. Patience is a virtue, right? That we all need to have.
So I hope that you have a great 4th of July.
Ah, right.
Nice Independence Day.
Right.
And the second part of the blessing, when does that have to do with why so many people do so many good deeds? That everybody, I'm getting so many things from my senior friends now who are volunteering for all sorts of organizations and giving of themselves so much more
Isn't
than
that
they ever have
easier?
before.
That's probably because they're bored.
I think it's because of the pandemic. Do you
What's
think?
that?
Do you think
What?
it's a result of the pandemic?
I don't know. I haven't inquired.
Nah.
Getting all these letters to us to donate money
Wow.
Oh,
to
that.
the fund, to the funds of which they are giving of all their time and volunteering, all of their efforts for resettlements and all sorts of things that are going on. You think so? You think it's because of the pandemic? I don't know.
I don't know. I think people started thinking more about
Yeah.
others during it.
Okay.
They realized let's hope that it had a good thing for everybody, that it was a positive experience.
Yeah. And please remember the people, the families, and my fellow rescuers down in Surfside,
Yeah.
Florida. It's
Yeah.
such a heavy Jewish population. My sister and I would frequently stay right there at the Residence Inn when we would visit there. We just
Oh,
love
wow.
that area. So it's really heart-wrenching, and it's a very
Yeah.
tedious job. So please lift my fellow rescuers in your heart of prayers as they continue to do this methodical and tedious job. They are humans too.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, for sure. It was a horrible
thing.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I don't know. Somebody from our synagogue, her brother-in-law, hasn't been found yet.
There's
Oh,
no.
bless you.
Oh.
Very sad.
It's very sad. It's very sad. So.
Very, very sad is right. We have somebody in our community, and Birmingham is a small Jewish community.
Oh, yeah.
And one of them, you've heard of him, is Gary Cohen. He and his brother, Brad Cohen, they're both doctors. They were
Oh,
down
my.
there. And Gary's from Birmingham, and their father is terminally ill. That's why they went down.
Oh.
And the brother lives there. And
Right.
they were wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah.
What a horror.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you, everyone. And
Thanks.
Well, let's
stay
hope
away.
happy, good things happen this
Yeah.
year for everybody. Right?
And stay away from the fireworks too. No fireworks in your hands. No fireworks. That's my PSA.
Happy 4th, everybody.
Happy
Right.
4th.
Happy 4th.
Shalom.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Thank
See
you, Sharon.
everybody. Shabbat shalom.
And good to see you.
Be safe.